G'day guys, welcome back to the WCS Winter Championship. Here on the desk with me is the Muslim. Good morning, Ben. How are you?
Good morning, Maynard. I'm really well, and I'm really looking forward to this match as well. Elazer and Bly, they're two of the Zergs that are pretty similar level in Europe, both boasting like pretty sick win ratios on ladder. But Bly in tournaments, he enters absolutely everything. And I've been at LANs with him, where we're already preparing for a LAN, right? A LAN tournament. And there he is entering like the go for StarCraft 2 of that day, and he's like planning his wake-up schedule for the next tournament next morning and such. So this guy plays in absolutely everything. And one thing that I'm really surprised about is like the desk is stacked against him.
It is surprising. I mean, Bly is, we were talking about it a little bit before, I was talking with Apollo, he mentioned that he is a hyper-aggressive player, and this is the matchup for him. He's done very, very well in this matchup in the past. We see Elazer has a lot of hype surrounding him at the moment. I mean, his big breakout performance was at Home Story Cup 12 not too long ago. And, I mean, Bly, he is coming off the back of second place at DreamHack Leipzig. And,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, he is...
That second place at Leipzig, that is no small feat. I mean, just to get there, he beat Hydra 3-0. He beat Violet 3-2. Neither of those Zergs are pushovers, but here we are getting into the first game of the day.
That's right, and in the corner here, from the Ukraine, this is Bly. Is he not on Team Acer anymore? Has
Team Acer has officially
abandoned. Ripped. Yeah. But on to better news in the bottom left here. This is Elazer.
Now, both these players are rather erratic, very, very quick. Bly's been streaming a lot recently, but that guy, he plays in absolutely everything. And Elazer, he is the kid that's coming up, and he's been very, very fast. But this guy, when it comes to LAN success, it isn't as big as Bly. And in most of these guys' matchups, and they've played, just in the past few years, they've played over, or very close to 40 matches against one another. And history does say that Bly does have the advantage, but only 60%. And here, going into this four-player map, they are going to scout each other very, very quickly here. And these Overlords passing one another.
Oh, that was nearly an Overlord kiss, but just a shoulder bump. No love lost between these European players.
And that was Elazer giving him the, the shoulder there.
That was the cold shoulder there from Elazer. So early mind games, the ZvZ. I see that both players, I mean, this is reasonably standard, being such a volatile matchup to get an earlier pull there. You don't really see Hatch first anymore. That was, I mean, maybe on a bigger map. This is one of the larger ones, but you are taking a huge risk, and this tournament means so much. Everyone's brought it up already. It is single elimination. To be safe in the first game is not a massive shock.
Absolute mirrored builds at this point in time. Now, Bly, whenever I've watched him, he does love Baneling aggression, and he's one of the players that can really catch you off guard. Even though you know Bly's going to all-in you, or he's going to be aggressive, somehow he still gets away with it, which is a real mark of a good player. If you know what he's going to do and he can still beat you while like the other opponent knows what you're doing, that's nuts.
And Elazer pulled his lings a little bit there, and I mean pull, P-O-O-L. Sorry guys for my accent. Pulled his lings a little bit there to try and wait a little bit before and going out in the middle of the map, just to have a few more lings, and also, if he needs it, the defender's advantage, which is so huge in ZvZ.
And here we have a little or Zergling skirmish in the middle of the map.
A scuffle. The Queen's pretty deep out there. It would be a little bit of danger if Bly was flooding lings right now, but I mean, the real goal here is to get that Overlord, and she will get it eventually.
Or will it? That Overlord does get away.
Never mind.
Yeah, so no mistakes made by either player at this point in time. And look, both their speeds finish almost identically here, so no love lost. And look at the production tab. It's still exactly mirrored.
Just
10
lings.
Zerglings,
Yeah.
10 Zerglings.
Now, I mean, Elazer is very good at preparing for his opponents, and these players have played each other so much that it's no surprise here. It just looks like Elazer is reading Bly. He knows exactly what he's going to do, and is really reacting accordingly. We see that Bly has a pretty large ling advantage here, pressing Elazer all the way back into his natural. He's trying to get another hatchery up. And with the Queen defense, the ramp is open, so he needs to be very careful here.
That was really smart by Elazer. He tried to get that wraparound with the lings. He was definitely baiting in Bly there, but Bly managed to get out of there without too many losses. So right now, it's very, very careful play by both of them.
That's right.
Oh, there's an Overlord in the natural of Bly, though. This is...
Oh, that's a bit of a blunder there from Elazer if he loses that.
That could be a big blunder, but the Queen under fire now, and Bly trying to run away there, but the Queen does look like it will fall.
Definitely going to get the Queen there and escape if he's lucky. Bly's going to try and catch him here. Needs to make him pay for his crimes.
Oh,
he does get a lot of lings there.
That's a lot of lings going to fall.
In fact, he's losing the battle in the natural as well. So, I mean, Elazer's lost all of his lings for this Queen kill.
not a worthy trade. And Bly, he already started mining gas quite a bit before this, so he's getting ready for his Baneling nest. Like, this counterattack, it's already planned.
Very scary. Just this attack right here before the Banelings.
Look at this link out, Maynard. It's 32-0 on the map right now. Oh, and the highest energy queen is at the front here.
Yeah, almost. He's going to have a transfuse in a second here. Does he get it off? Yes, just at the last minute. And Elazer is going to need to get these lings popped out as soon as possible. The queen does go down, and like you mentioned, that was the high energy queen. No more transfuses for now.
Oh, this is really, really a dicey spot. Elazer supply is a little bit higher, but he's losing all his queens here.
Nearly 3 queens, losing 2 there. Huge, huge implications to his production. Kills the Baneling off before it finishes.
This is very intense right now. Worker supply much higher for Elazer, so if he can hold on, if he can survive before his Roach Warren finishes and gets a few roaches out, he will survive, but this is a lot of pressure that Bly's mounting on Elazer right here.
Bly is not done here, and Elazer doesn't have his own Baneling nest. He's going for roaches instead, and it's up to Bly to kill him before the roach count gets too high. Oh. The Banelings are coming in. They need a connection with the Lings there. Not an amazing connection at the top, but not too bad. Still 3 Banelings left.
Oh, the Queen left alone, though, against the Lings will get taken down.
Yeah, she will. The Banelings really want a drone line or the lava, and they will get it. Taking down the Queen in the natural. Bly heading up into the main. Still 2 Banelings alive. It looks like Elazer's going to pick one off before it gets there.
That was a nice pick off by the Baneling. Now the drones. Drone drilling away.
Oh! That's a very, very hurt drone line. But I don't know if he has enough Lings to seal the deal here. He doesn't.
Look at this really good micro by Bly.
He got 9 drones in that attack there. I stand corrected. That's a huge drone kill.
Oh, but these Lings do get trapped there.
Nice control there by Elazer.
That was really clean play by Bly, actually. Like, he had to deal damage there to get back into the game. He was very severely behind in drones, but now it seems to be Elazer piling on the pressure. Can't really deal with an equal amount of Lings when a Queen's there too. But damage needs to be done by Elazer, or the drone count needs to be, like, equaled out, which he is trying to make happen.
Elazer has roach tech, and I mean, once his drone count gets up there a little bit, he's not actually mining gas, so never mind. He doesn't seem to be too... I mean, he's getting 2 out, which are going to help, but if he really wanted to destroy him with roaches, he'd have to have done it to, you know,
these are survival roaches at this point.
Yeah,
like, he just needs to survive.
They're obviously amazing against Lings. They trade well against Banelings. So definitely a very good defensive tool, and could be potentially an attack tool if the game goes much longer. But Bly definitely wants to end this right here, right now. And he's coming in with all of his Lings. The Queen surrounded and decimated. 1 Baneling still alive. Doesn't connect that great, though. Bly still with lots of Lings.
These roaches, they're just getting surrounded and murdered at this point in time. And where is Elazer's army? Totally evaporated at this point. Single roaches pop out, might kill a couple of Lings, but the trade here is so good for Bly. Absolutely, more drone kills. Killing those 2 Queens, probably the biggest kill there. He just, look, there aren't any more Queens for injection to Muslim. He's coming in here, and he's making Banelings up there, and it's just going to be up to the roaches. Elazer is forced to make roaches right now, and he can barely afford them. Yeah, he can't afford the roaches, can't afford Lings, has no Queens, can't afford Queens. And Bly, behind all these Lings that he's just made... Oh, Banelings in the main, Banelings in the main. Are they going to get... Oh! 5 more drone kills, and this is going to be GG. Bly on fire. Gets himself a very electric game number 1 there. And Bly, look at him. He's a very emotional player. Whenever you see him, one thing, it's lovely to see an emotional player when he's winning. When he's losing, it sucks. It's heartbreaking, like seeing Bunny yesterday. Totally. But Bly, you'll see him fist pumping, like shouting Russian profanity, or what I'm sure is profanity, but absolutely great to see. And Elazer, he's a guy that I have seen lose at WCS before. I remember a heartbreaking loss to... I think I know the one you're talking about. Hitman himself, and the turn in the chair, and then Hitman wandered over, and Elazer, it was... He wasn't having a bar of it. No, he wasn't, but... First game of this series. It is not over by any means. Absolutely not. Like I mentioned at the beginning of that first game, ZvZ, one of the most volatile matchups of all time. In fact, I think it has been since Wings of Liberty. And it's just on a knife's edge. Could go either way. One bad trade and it is over, and it ends very, very quick. Certainly, and I mean, it mainly starts off with a Baneling situation. Usually, yeah. Could be defensive Banelings, offensive Banelings. I mean, we're talking about Bly here. They are going to largely be offensive Banelings. They're pretty similar players, actually. Like, if we got to study their APMs, or the APM tabs were ever brought up, very, very similar. They're both incredibly fast. Elazer especially, actually, he's like a little wonder kid. But Bly definitely has the tournament experience, and the fact that he did just recently go to the final of Leipzig, it's almost as if he's been forgotten for having such a remarkable result. It is kind of weird to see so many, like everyone at the panel, not tip this guy, or not think that he's going to get through. Look at Bly smiling, look at this guy. Cheeky boy. like with his golden chain, his little chin strap, his dazzling blue eyes. Like, man, he is playing really well. Bly throughout Wings of Liberty and HOTS, you know, you looked at Bly and you're like, oh yeah, he's okay. He might all-in you, he'll be cheeky. But Legacy of the Void, it really, really rewards aggressive play so much more than any of the other expansions.
Yeah.
And when you're a guy that's very known for aggressive play and all-in-y play, man, he's reaping the rewards here, and he's very good at it. His micro's crisp.
His like last top 2 finish or last grand final, I think was like in 2012 or something for Bly. So it really goes to show that Legacy of the Void has really taken off for him. I even remember in when the beta was around and there were show matches in the beta, Bly was destroying everybody. There was some really huge upsets in those beta tournaments.
He's a lovely player to watch, and also he comes from a Warcraft 3 background. But like micro, you can definitely see like him pulling individual lings back and trying to get the really good baneling hits. But ZvZ, I was talking with him yesterday actually. He was saying how happy he is with his bracket. So going into today, man, I'm glad to see that he's on fire here.
That's right.
Bly on fire. Gotta carry it for him.
You got there. In the top right here, from Team, I think he's on Team True Esport. There we go. This is Elazer. The last remaining Polish player that isn't in the round of 16. He really wants to get there. And in the bottom left from the Ukraine, this is Bly.
Central protocol between these two players. Now, this is a map I haven't seen that often in ZvZ.
I mean, the main thing, that because it is a mirror, there is no map balance to talk about, but the main thing is that it's a huge rush distance with this spawns. It's very, very, very tough to... I mean, you have speedlings, which are the fastest units in the entire game, but it still takes quite a while to get up there. And if you're the defender and you know it's coming with your overlord spread and that sort of thing, you can prepare it. Zerg's normally pretty comfortable to do that, and I guess it's sort of going to fit Elazer more than it will fit Bly, this map, I'd say.
Mirrored builds between these two players again, but one thing to note about this map, often Zergs, especially with banelings early game, they like to sit those banelings at the top of their main ramp, even though it's only a very small ramp, so lings that run into the main, they can't do it. There's always that threat of the banelings at the top of the ramp, whereas we look at the ramp on this map, there is no high ground vision, there's no low ground vision.
Mate. It's not even a ramp.
And it's pretty darn big. Lings getting into the main base, once you're up into the natural, running around, it's very hard to get those units out. And the main base is so huge, hiding banelings or morphing banelings, very easy to do. So this is a map that is made for disaster.
So once again, the safer opening to go for quick speed, pull first, then getting their hatchery. Nothing really much to talk about there. It's a very standard opening in ZvZ. I mean, obviously 13-12 is still prevalent in the matchup as well. We'll probably see it at least once, but...
Look how similar these players are, by the way, with how they've moved their lings. They're both moving across the map, and Elazer's actually hitting the base of Bly much earlier. He was very, very, hey, I'm going to go directly for your base, whereas Bly, he took the approach that he was like, okay, I'm going to avoid all vision here and get around. So he does get there later, but Elazer's ruthlessness just kind of serves a better purpose here.
It kind of seems like, I mean, Bly is struggling to hold this hatchery here. This is looking a little bit awkward for Bly. Elazer, however, is coming down and he's going to lose a queen.
He lost the queen. I think Bly's actually benefiting from this situation much more, though. And yeah, he's almost going to win that fight. There is going to be a ling left over for Elazer, but losing the queen, that's a huge, huge loss at this point.
And the hatchery actually didn't get killed. It's very, very low there, and there's a lot of lings on the field, so it possibly can be, but...
Lost more lings did Elazer and a queen. So at this point in time, resources lost tab, it's better for Bly, and may not seem much.
Look at the resources lost right there.
ZvZ, those kind of losses early on, they matter. They matter a lot.
Yeah, mirrored games when it's only at 3 minutes, being 150 resources lost more, it's a horrible spot.
And also, in ZvZ, one of the big things that isn't identical to the other races, it's like the more minerals you mine, the more drones you make, and you have the trade-off, like, hey, if you mine more minerals, because you don't just produce one worker at a time, can produce more than that, they benefit a lot more from those early minerals early game. But here, this is actually quite a nice trade by Elazer. He had slightly more lings, as lots of Bly's lings ran off to the right there.
Yeah, Bly's lings sort of broke off from the pack. He looks like he has enough to chase Elazer down. I mean, the really dangerous thing is how low his natural hatchery still is if Elazer managed to get a large ling run by happening. But Bly's kind of been all over the place here. See Elazer with 3 queens there on the natural. Elazer getting into the main, seeing what's up. He sees the baneling nest of Bly. No shock there. And then heads back towards the natural with a nice catch there.
That was a sick catch.
That's the Warcraft 3.
Warcraft 3 surround micro right there. And yeah, this unit that's lost tab, it's continually growing in Bly's favor. Still only slight, but Elazer has to be careful. And the Queen's at the top of this natural ramp. I really like that. He's also playing much safer. He's kind of getting himself ready for the mid-game.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting roaches, but like I mentioned, this map is huge, and you're not going to have creep spread, so it takes a long time to get those roaches over there, so it looks like he just wants to sit there, mass up a few units, maybe get up to layer tech, and take it easy, because I don't think you want to go across the map with just a handful of roaches on this map.
That's a lot of banelings, and Elazer already started getting his spine ready.
And has four queens here. That's a lot of anti-baneling here. His defense looks really, really good at the moment. Bly, however, his hatchery still low. Very low, in fact. Is he going to right-click it to get it down? He is going to get it.
Oh, it's so close. It's so close. Oh, and he does get it. And now, all he has to do is defend.
Yeah, if Elazer holds, he's won this game. He's got 6 roaches on the way as well.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is really cool, though, because damage at the front is going to be incredibly hard.
Absolutely. This is a very cool play here from Bly. Will he have enough to seal the deal, though? 4 banelings going into the main. Completely unaware is Elazer. 1 queen heading back into the main, but I don't know if it's going to be enough against 4 banelings to Muslim.
Dude, this is going to be so cool here. So we have banelings at the front. There are queens, there are defenses, even roaches here. In fact, it's going to deal nothing. A queen in the main, though. This is going to be real damage if it gets...
Oh, wow. So many drone kills there, unfortunately. There it is. 8 drones went down, and they're very, very hurt.
I feel they could have even connected much better there, but the damage has been done. The drone count's been very much equaled out, but Elazer droning back up again. So going to be back up in no time.
Oh, he's going to get into the main with a whole bunch of speedlings. He's forced to break off some of his defenses on the ramp here to deal with the Overlord. The Overlord is going to eject these lings before it dies.
And in fact, the Overlord does drop all the lings, so these lings, they have to deal a lot of damage, but they are a lot of low health drones.
They're hurt drones, and I feel this is very, very worth it for Bly.
Whoa, really good focus fire by Bling. That takes a lot of effort. Clicking correctly on all those drones, and he did it. He focus fired all those drones with low health, so Bly, he's managing to keep himself in this. 12 workers have been killed. Current worker count actually in favor of Bly. So, and it's a huge map as well.
Exactly. And like I said, these roaches are not going to march across the map for a while here. He's going to need glial reconstitution. There's that lair. No surprise to see that, because he needs that roach speed if he wants to make an attack happen. He's going to have to sit at home, but Bly, circumnavigating that sensor net of Elazer, that concentrated natural defense. Really, really brilliant move from the Ukrainian player.
Oh, and saving his Overlord. Is he going to get the queen?
Oh, wow! How does he get these pickoffs? I don't even understand.
But will this Overlord actually get away? That's the real question here. And it's very close. It's very close.
This is a really The map has ruined the Queen's job.
This is a test
she'll still get it. She'll still get it. There it is.
Did try and get away there.
So it's pretty nice to get the Overlord, but I feel like losing a Queen's almost not worth it. He did lose 1, and he took all those drone kills. We can see the resources lost tab. Still in favor of Bly, but still quite close.
It's ridiculously close at this point in time, actually. And now Bly, I was wondering, is he making the right call here by just producing units? And he's actually producing drones, but there's quite a number of roaches on the way. And he is getting control of the watchtower momentarily, so he will see that...
I really don't think he's expecting this huge roach aggression from Elazer. He does. I mean, he knows about it now because of the watchtower.
Oh.
But and Elazer is just now aware of that ling there. So Bly's going to have to probably drop some emergency spine crawlers here. I don't know if he has enough for the defender's advantage.
He's supply blocked. He's been supply blocked for quite some time.
Because the Overlord killed him. He's got 3 Overlords on the way. That's his lava that he needs for defense.
Oh,
Where are the spine crawlers?
Oh, does get a nice shot off at the top of the ramp here. And I love how he's focusing. He got that roach down to really low health. But then he chose to change target and just use the queen to finish it off. So that was nice micro, but here he's getting overwhelmed by Elazer.
Yeah, this is a lot of army here from Elazer, and the Ravagers, even more helpful. He has to pull drones off the line, and that's always a bad sign in ZvZ when you're defending to have to pull drones. He's lost 7 already so far. Elazer pressing the issue. He's almost double the supply of Bly at this point, and he is really bringing this home.
Whenever you use drones Bly, it's a bad sign, and GG is called. Elazer tying up this series.
We've got a series to Muslim, 1 apiece.
And we knew we did have a series before this game even started. Bly, Elazer, they're both very, very good European Zergs. You know, we tend to talk a lot about Nurtio, but then the Zergs that follow, Elazer and Bly are definitely among them.
Absolutely. They'd be the best, some of the best Zergs in Europe for sure.
And very, very similar playstyles too. Bly, insanely aggressive, more so with Ling and Bane, whereas Elazer, whenever I get to play against this guy, I know there's going to be Roach Ravager all over me sometime pretty soon. So they're both exceptionally aggressive players.
Absolutely, and you know, like we mentioned at the very beginning of the series, Elazer preparing extremely well for Bly. They would have played each other a metric ton. They'd hit each other on the ladder all day, every day. so they know each other's play styles very well. And we can see they are mirrored every game in the early game, and then switching off, we can see that Elazer kind of favors the Roach tech, Bly favors Link Bane, which is not a surprise because of his micro being quite good. And I really love that Overlord drop into the main. It was such an ingenious Legacy of the Void. You can only do that in Legacy of the Void.
Yes.
And that's such a Bly thing.
But yeah, a lot of Legacy of the Void moves, you just don't quite expect them in Elazer. While he had a Queen in the main, if those Banelings connected a little bit better, actually, you saw that it was a good, like, 8 drones left over with health. If you split them up into 2 sections and take those big patches in the middle line, he could have taken out easily 12 drones instead of just 8.
Absolutely. So an extra 4 drone kills, pretty huge in this matchup with the mirror and with both players being so evenly matched.
That Queen kill hunting that Overlord, though, like, while we were kind of, you know, it was just a fun moment in the game, that
was actually very pivotal.
It was massively pivotal. Bly was supply blocked for quite some time and couldn't produce units despite seeing units coming at him. That's a terrible situation to find yourself in.
Yeah, a little bit awkward, and it did actually cost him that map in the end. I mean, I was surprised not to see any spine crawlers. He did know that there was like a 6 or 8 roaches heading towards him, and he knew that a couple of them at least were going to turn into Ravagers. So, I mean, why bring roaches when you can bring Roach Ravager?
I'm excited to see if any of these games actually reach that stage where it's...
I would love that. I actually am in control. I love ZvZ. The first time I ever saw...
It's not just Roach Ravager, though. Like, the amount that you see Mutalisk these days, because they nerfed Spores. And so Spores don't quite have that effect. And the fact that Mutas and like bases mine out so quickly, Mutas, you have to expand a lot, right, as the game goes on. So Mutas, the fact they cover so much ground, and then getting to Ultras, so you get to Ultras so the Mutas don't deal damage. It's a really crazy dilemma that happens.
That's right. So many choices in this matchup, but still so volatile. And the bottom spawn here, from the Ukraine, this is Bly.
Always wiping his hand there, so the nerves are showing.
Doesn't need a towel just yet. And in the top north spawn of Dust Towers, this is Elazer. With a great game 2. Expect a pretty good game 3 as well. Dust Towers, single, I guess, 2-player map, so you know exactly where your opponent is. Much shorter rush distance than Central Protocol.
Ooh.
And wow, a hatch first from Elazer.
Not just a hatch first.
From both players.
Where they put the hatch first, too. It's not like a...
This is... I feel this is very deliberate because they want to expand towards their opponent and have that shorter rush distance, or actually have the defender's advantage on this ramp here. To be able to have that creep spread down there, super important for Static D. I mean, it is very, very open, but you'll see Zergs do that. I think they actually will tend to do that in against Terrans as well, like to counter the Reaper aggression that used to be so prevalent on this map, and like you know, and the other back, I'm completely mental blanking on the other backdoor expand.
It's all good, it's all good. But also one reason that I like to see Zergs take this expansion. One thing, it means that creep spread, you can start it much faster. It's already at a more forward point. Yeah. But also, you don't know exactly when your opponent's going to take a third base, given that third base is hidden. So it's much harder to scout when your opponent does take a third. So there are definitely big advantages. Yes, if your opponent early pulls you, your hatchery is more vulnerable. But on a map the size of this, you're most likely going to see it happen when it happens. So getting away with that early on, ooh,
looks like
Elazer's
putting
nest.
Yeah, it looks like Elazer might be putting on the aggressive pants here, slipping them on and seeing how they feel.
Definitely, and Bly constantly wiping that hand. So yeah, despite being
might be feeling a little bit angsty, a little bit nervous.
$6,000 on the line. You know,
that's
you're 1-1 in this series, and $6,000 in a technically a best of 3 from now on against a player that you know is very, very capable of beating you.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to block out mentally as a player. I mean, I can't even block it out, and I'm commentating this thing. I'm not even playing.
I'm nervous for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Overlord chasing.
Yeah, a bit of Overlord chasey.
I feel that's when you need some like love music on.
Doesn't seem super consensual. It's pretty...
It doesn't,
it's pretty awkward, actually. Yeah. It's gonna...
Oh, there we go.
But we see that the Lings of Bly have arrived. He's going to have a look to see what's going on in Elazer Town for the first time.
Now, what do these Lings see thus far? They see where the expansion is, sure.
Oh, he's not looking for the tech here. He might actually... The Baneling Nest could possibly go undetected. That said, I mean...
Ooh, just see a third base.
A third hatchery, and, well, luckily, Bly drops hit... Well, Bly sees that third hatchery and goes, okay, I'm going to take mine as well. He took that immediately as he scouted that.
The mirroring of these builds, it's identical, and yet again, even their gas counts are very, very similar at this point. Supply counts very close too. The Roach Warren.
The small difference here is the speed.
Roach Warren and Baneling Nest?
Yeah.
This looks like he said, hey, scout my third, but I don't think I'll ever drone this up.
Yeah, this is this looks
speed.
kind of mind gaming, and this is what happens when you know a player so well and you play them so often. You can metagame them, you can mind game a little bit. So it's not surprising to see that in at least one of these games. We see that the Baneling is going to deny these Lings from getting up the ramp. He's trying to get a drone kill here.
Banelings, Roaches, and no Ling speed. This could deal a lot of damage. But the fact that Bly still sees that these Lings don't have speed, that means that something's happening.
He's killed 3 drones, gets up into the main, but doesn't go too deep. These Lings will actually scout the tech.
Oh, he sees the Baneling nest now.
Yep.
Now he knows, like, hey, okay, I have to be a little bit careful here. My opponent is doing something really weird. He's still droning up like a madman. Sees no drones on this base. Ooh. Bly. Oh, and in fact, he's already making Roaches at this point in time, making a lair as well.
He's been making them for a little bit now, just pumping them out the Roaches. The lair on the way for that glial reconstitution. So the good thing is if you have that speed first, even if you're the defensive player, you can chase down the aggressive Roaches and completely punish your opponent if you win that engagement convincingly and counterattack as well. I mean, the rush distance is reasonably short. If you have an overwhelming number, it's almost a free win.
And Elazer at this point, he's been making nothing but battle units, so...
Battle units.
Yeah,
units of battle.
I definitely, he's definitely going for some kind of all-in here, and that third hatchery was there just for show by the looks of it, and now he's getting Ling speed, so the Ling speed invests in it much, much later, but all his gas going into Roaches.
I feel like Bly has the econ and tech advantage. The lair is about to finish. He's going to have Ravages for the defense as well.
If he, and Bly, that extractor has got to be for show, or it's just simply like a... Yeah, it is for show. This is very smart play by Elazer. So he wants to kind of say to Bly, hey, I'm actually going for this kind of like macro game, this economic game, but now with these units moving out onto the map, now Bly knows exactly what's happening.
And Bly's going to go for Spire on the back of this as well. If that gets up, that's a very tough thing to deal with as Elazer. And still no static defense from Bly yet. He's not taking it super seriously, or he feels like he'll have enough with the units on the ground to be able to defend this here. But we know, with our God vision as commentators, that there is a lot of units coming from Elazer here.
These spine crawlers are so late, though, and this army's huge by Elazer outside Bly's back door. He is putting down his Corrosive Biles. He's trying to buy time. Even Biles himself, actually.
Yeah, a little bit on that Ravager there, and the Ravager's right at the front. It's definitely not what you want. You want the Roaches at the front, but we see the Lasers coming through with a target fire, and the Ravagers are starting to drop here. Elazer with more reinforcements. He just looks like he has too many units right now, and he's pressing the issue on this third.
Oh, Bly is in so much trouble. These Biles, they are trying to land, but the Zerg units on creep are so ridiculously fast. The Spine Crawlers do get up, though. They are going to buy him some time, but is there too much Elazer?
It's 14 drone kills to Muslim. There's too much Elazer. Way too much Elazer on the dance floor. He's smiling. He knows.
Oh, Polish joy all over the face of Elazer right there. And he knows he's winning this game, even denying the spawning Roaches.
Yeah, killing the Roaches before they hatch. That is definitely Elazer's game. Not enough. It's a game of numbers at this point. Elazer's got this.
And Elazer, yeah, this is a game where he sold Bly on a story.
He was so cheeky.
He was reading a book to Bly, and he's like, yeah, this is going to happen in this story. I'm going to play a macro game. Yeah, it's going to go the distance.
Yeah,
no, I'm going to rush you, and I'm going to kill you this game so easily.
Bly. He's on 20 supply right now. This is gotta be GG. It's all over.
You know, when your opponent stays in the game like this, and GG is cool, but look at that. You know, like that is a very cheeky
guy right there. He knows. He's on camera. He's putting in a little bit of a wink and a smile for the crowd there, and Bly needs to reset things because he's got Elazer on match point at the moment.
And you know, when an opponent stays in the game against me and he's still trying, but it's totally over, nothing feels better. Like, I can do whatever. I'm just killing him. That's when I drop the mana mules and stuff, you know, like I'd really rub it in.
Start dancing back and forth.
Totally, yeah. But Elazer, again, that wasn't just playing StarCraft. That was playing your opponent. That was making him read you. Like, you were selling him something, and the whole time you were doing something different. Like, that's beautiful when you trick somebody.
It was like he was reading him Cinderella, and he's like, yeah, I know Cinderella. I know how it ends. It's like, and then he gets there, and he brings the glass slipper, and then everyone dies.
Beautiful, beautiful.
The twist. That's right. So, guys, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go away, because game number 4 between Elazer and Bly will be coming up very soon. G'day guys, welcome back. We are getting ready for game number 4 between Elazer and Bly, and it has been a pretty intense series so far. Fast, but still no lack of energy, that's for sure.
Fast kind of is intense, but the speed at which these games have been won, and the fact that we've seen different styles come in. We've seen Bly's just relentless aggression come in and get pretty nice wins here and there. Good micro from both sides. But then we also got to see Elazer's trickery. And he really did trick Bly that game. And Bly, he's an experienced player, so this happening to him with $6,000 on the line. Now he's down to 1 match point.
Such a sick fake out there, but let's get into it. Game number 4 on the bottom spawn here on the far right. This is Bly. Needs to win the next 2 games to take this series. And has to take it away from this guy who's on match point. This is Elazer. Elazer.
Yeah, it's quite. I've realized there's a few ways to say Elazer. Like talking to Nurture yesterday, it was like Elazer.
Elazer.
And I was like, wow, Arthur, you're so cool. Like, but anyhow, Ruins of Seras cross map, huge map. Now, which player would like this more? Well, I would have said Bly would have hated it more, but the fact that he's going for a hatchery straight away, man, how things have changed.
How they have indeed. You know, it's like Elazer's being the safe guy here, going for pool first. No gas. Just,
oh, he does have a gas.
Oh, he does. Oh, sorry, he already took the 1. Sorry.
So
I've been looking away. I've been lost in your blue eyes, Ben.
Oh, you stop. You charming devil, you.
Drinking the water out of those baby blues. But, yeah, so we see that the gas has been taken in the main, so Elazer is mining, getting that early pull. So he's going to have a very, very quick speed, which is obviously amazing for a large map like this, and there the speed does go down. No surprises there.
It would be even better, though, if your opponent was a little bit closer to you, which 66% of the time he would be. But this
66.
one chance...
66% of the time works every time.
Certainly does, but so 8 lings, so he does plan on putting out some aggression pretty darn early on, but Bly managed to pull out the build that, yeah, the one time that he can pull out this build in a pretty good spot. In fact, what's he doing in his chair there? It looked a little bit uncomfortable, leaning over to the side.
Maybe a little bit anxious there.
I'd be anxious too.
Taking that pull, obviously, sorry, the hatchery, obviously a lot later than Bly, and if Bly holds this aggression, he's going to be in a wonderful spot. He'll have more lava, he'll have more drones, he'll have an earlier second queen. All the good stuff.
Elazer still doesn't quite know where his opponent is for sure, but now he's seen this overlord in the direction that it's coming from. He knows, and he's going to go for it. But Bly also got to see these lings heading over.
Yeah, and he knows that they're from the top left as well with the angle of where they're coming from. So, I mean, he doesn't have many units at all, or much defense at all, and there are 4 lings coming, but there's more where that came from, and Elazer has his target set on this natural hatchery.
Yeah, Bly actually has a higher number of lings right here, right now. Elazer now makes that number higher for him, so if he chose to turn around, but speed does finish, and Bly...
Yeah, this is tough.
He didn't quite take the bait, though, and now his queens are ready. Oh, this queen is caught off creep here. This is not good.
That's a huge pickoff already for Elazer, cutting into the queen production of Bly. Less lava is a bad time for Zerg. He just come in here, he sees that Bailey Nest, but the Bailey Nest is going to come into play here for the early game. The lings already. Yeah, this queen's actually in trouble as well, but I think he might have enough to be able to bat Elazer away here, but not without taking some damage.
Actually, I was just thinking how good that queen was placed. He wasn't being too aggressive with it. He wasn't caught in the middle of anywhere. He placed it in between minerals and gas, which surface area-wise, you get max, what, 5 lings, 2 and 3 from each side trying to hit it. But now, look at Bly's Zergling count. It's pretty large, and he's going to have...
I mean,
speed soon.
The issue with that queen being where it is and not having a second queen. Yeah, that drone.
It tried to block him there through the entrance. That would have been a sick block, and all those lings would have been trapped, but didn't quite work out. So this is going a little bit better for Elazer than it should have. But Bly's army,
he's got Banelings
mounting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he has had the earlier lava. Lost the queen, unfortunately. Elazer forced to drop a spine here just in case of counter aggression. He knows Banelings are on the field, and Bly could potentially counterattack, so he's dropping that Roach Warren. Roaches in general, obviously great against little small groups of lings and Banelings as well.
Oh, this was really nice by Bly as well. Like, the fact that he only ran like a good enough lings to defeat the number of lings that he thought Elazer might have, but didn't show all the lings. So this is a hell of a lot of lings in the base of Elazer here.
A huge amount, and let's see how many queens he's got to get here. He's got at least 2, and a third is about to go down as well, and he still has a lot of lings. He's actually trading very well with the lings of Elazer. He's in all 4 queens.
And now he's in the main. There's nothing here. He can start morphing in Banelings willy-nilly, and he's still producing lings. He's still got a better economy, I do believe.
This is a bold Baneling morph there. Elazer obviously aware of that, does pick them off. But yeah, I mean, he's took so much damage. 4 queens is a huge pick-off for Bly.
I love that he's droning up behind this, though.
Again.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. And there's no Overlord there to see his Overlord, so this could really deal quite some damage. Getting some Lings, and that, in fact, it's going to be Banelings.
And this is something that caught Elazer unawares last time on Central Protocol. Will it work again?
And if we're going to have a look at the... I want to look at the... yes, here we are. 31 to 22. There's no Queen here. There's no Queen here. Stop it. There's nothing.
He's pulled, though.
Oh!
Still loses 5 drones, and that's pretty good for 2 Banelings, so Bly will be happy with that. But he needs to be able to hold against Elazer's Blings here, and he has Banelings back at home, so I'd imagine it wouldn't be too big of an ask.
Look how calm Bly looks here, and
he knows he's in a great spot.
Rightly so. He is in a fantastic spot, and you know what makes that Baneling detonation even worse? Even if he didn't pull his drones, the max amount that you really hope for is 5. So the fact that he pulled away, lost mining there too. Oh, even a mistake with this drone following that drone.
Small mistake there. So that's 1 less drone mining, basically.
Indeed it is. Bly overlording a little bit right now. Definitely a sign of nerves. 45 out of 84.
Yeah, that's a little over into Overlords. But he is starting to make roaches
now.
Okay. 9 roaches.
I call it a mistake, but no, he was setting himself up for a huge all-in here.
Yeah, and Elazer's taken a lot of econ damage. His Lings weren't trading well, and now he sees the Roach Warren.
Bam.
The Baneling denies Scout of how many roaches are out here, and Bly really has the reins of this game.
Oh, and look at these supplies, 70 to 47.
1 spine crawler will not hold this to Muslim spoilers. That is not enough spine crawlers.
No, this is a hell of a lot of Bly knocking at your front door. And look how much gas he has to spend on Banelings too. And right now, what he should be doing, yes, flooding in with Lings. All these guys should morph in Banelings at the front. This is going to be a very, very difficult attack to stop for Elazer.
And his Queen?
Burrow? He's getting Burrow?
Wow.
In his dying breath?
Why not? He's better than us at Zerg. We'll just have to wait and see how this plays out.
I don't know how hiding from this attack that's coming is going to save you from it, though.
You can't stick your head in the mud and pretend it's not happening. It's like maybe if I don't look, he'll go away.
Yeah, we're not 5 anymore. It doesn't mean it's not there.
And the Banelings are coming in here. They could actually burn down this spine crawler if they get in position. The roaches are pulling them into the corner, but here come the big boy roaches of Bly, and they're charging through. Already the roaches of Elazer are softened up, and there is way too much for Bly here.
That is a lot of Bly, and yes, Ling's going to be flooding across the map. You can see that line of Bly, and Elazer backed off into a corner here, totally outnumbered. This is very reminiscent of the last game, but roles have been flipped, and GG is called. 2-2 in the series.
We're going to Game 5. Not a shock, actually. I mean, we know how closely matched these players are, how well they know each other, and how good they are at this matchup. So not shocked at all to see that this is one of the closest series that I looked at. When I was looking at that round of 32, there were so many close series. There was like maybe 2 or 3 where I thought, okay, this guy's the favorite. And even then I was wrong. I mean, Littlebo lost a sort of. But this is one of those ones where I looked at it and I'm like, I just don't know.
A huge thing about Legacy of the Void right now, even if you win a tournament a week ago, doesn't mean you're the favorite for the next. You're only a champion of that day, of that tournament. And when it comes to Bly against Elazer, I have the statistics up here. In series, they're 9-6 in favor of Bly and 22-14 in maps. But still, the fact that you're only winning 60% against a player, that is nothing. Like, I really wanted to quote you, but I don't have the gruff voice for it, you know?
It never gets old.
They're insanely close, and like you bring up Lilbo and Sort of, I get to play against these guys daily on the ladder, and you get to see how these players are improving and how they're doing well. Look at Bly. It's lovely to see these players after each win.
I can't believe how much of a good time they seem to be having on camera, considering how much money, or how much not money, is come up into contention here in this match. One map's going to decide who's going to get $6 grand and move on potentially way more money. And either of these players could go very deep in this tournament if you look at the players here. Potentially.
Who is the next match for them? It's a TLO and Ianasu, right?
Yeah. So it'd be the winner of
another ZvZ?
Iasano, I think is what it is. Iasano and TLO. So it'd be another ZvZ. And we see already how good they are at this match.
Well, I was talking with Bly, and Bly, he's one of these guys, and this is such a trait that I'd love to have, and I respect it so much in other people. They are more confident in themselves than anybody else is in them. So despite being like, hey, yeah, I'm going to win this game, even if they're wrong, fake confidence is still confidence. As long as you put it in yourself, if you think you're going to win, that is such a good mindset to have.
It's as mental. I mean, StarCraft to me, one of the reasons it's the best game in the entire world it's as mental as it is mechanical. And rarely will you find two games that have such a huge demand of both of those categories. And in the bottom left here, we have got winning the last match, bringing it to match point. This is Bly.
Calm and calculated.
He's going to need some calculation, and that's this kid. In the top right, this is Elazer.
Looks very focused there, actually.
Pretty intense. That's the most intense he's looked in the series so far.
Kind of reminds me of like the villain in Terminator 2 right there, you know, that kind of stare.
Have you seen this boy?
Very, very scary.
Gives you chills, man.
Okay, so this game starts off with Elazer going for a hatch first, but as is Bly. So this is one of the first games that we've seen set up for a macro game in this series.
This is what we used to call in ZvZ back in the day, the gentleman's agreement.
There is no gentlemanly agreement in ZvZ.
But that used to exist where you're like, I'm playing ZvZ, I respect my opponent, let's both go 15 hatch. But, you know,
I totally get it.
Yeah, but you're right. This is for all the marbles here.
There is no honor in loss.
That's right.
There is
Who
only
said that?
I don't know.
That's such a sick. It sounds like it's from
it sounds like it should be a frickin' line somewhere.
Like a Sun Tzu type thing.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you know, I used to live with Greg, so no matter how I won, it was always like cheese or some like, you know,
of course it was
immoral victory. But I was always like, well, I was the one that won, man. Like, I'm the happy one. You know, it really doesn't matter how you win. It doesn't matter how flashy it looks. As long, in fact, that's like, I was going to creep up to a Fast and the Furious. Like, it doesn't matter how much you win by.
Doesn't matter
you know?
if it's an inch or a mile.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
But in this game, both opting for that gas after the hatchery, and then
mirror
the pool.
builds.
Yeah, and a lot of the times in these games, these guys have been mirror building one another. Both pretty darn good at the Zergling Baneling aggression at the start. Does look like Bly is the guy that opts for it more often, more frequently, whereas Elazer wants to get out those roaches a lot quicker. So you definitely see styles changing.
Yeah, so he's getting speed. It just looks like he's just doing it a little bit slower than the opponent. Just a couple seconds. Not a big deal.
Not enough to say there's much in it at all. In fact, both opting for the exact same thing. One thing that is different here, though, Bly's mining quite a bit more gas for longer after speed has started. So
well spotted.
Baneling Nest could be going down. Is it just 2 guys on gas for Bly? No, it's full on 3. Now, third hatch to start particularly early for
Yes,
Elazer.
Elazer really trying to push out an econ advantage here. Bly is very close to seeing it.
Bly's going to get the third hatch early too. This is
without scout. He hadn't scouted that third hatch either when he dropped that.
So you could say slight technical economic advantage for Elazer.
Yeah, so minuscule though.
It doesn't mean anything at this point in time. What really matters in Zerg versus Zerg is how many drones you have and what you do with them. Sure, you have enough minerals to spread them out, but neither player is going to be able to take advantage of all these mineral patches.
And both players touching up each other's newly dropped thirds. Few more Zerglings on the job here for Bly though.
And a very angry, focused-looking Elazer there. Does he go for the Lings that are hitting his hatchery? Does he go for this Overlord here with Queen? Does look like he decides to go for the Lings. Right choice.
This Queen, she's so mad, man. Don't you touch my babies.
This is risky, though.
He's diving very hard. Oh my.
Whoa.
Whoa, where did they come from?
Where on earth did Bly do this? And 2 Queens fall instantly? He's hanging around for a while,
He's the Queen sniper, man. He just takes out Queens and that gets him series or get him maps in the series so far. Oh, Elazer's pumping out 22 Lings as a response, though.
Maynard, look how much gas Bly has. That is a significant number of what could be Banelings, Roaches, or...
He's just trying to decide what he wants to do with it, but he should decide soon because it's time to tech up if your opponent's making a whole bunch of Lings.
Warren.
Yeah, Roaches it is.
And he definitely has the gas bank, even producing a second gas geyser at this point in time.
He doesn't have the... Oh, I guess he does have the supply cap because he's pumped out a lot of Overlords well. He's already up to 56 out of 74.
I tell you what, Bly keeps doing this really well. Keeps trying to catch these Zerglings. His Queen is the one that's vulnerable now, though, and Elazer definitely taking advantage of Bly here.
He's made 22 Lings, man, and they're all here in the main of Bly.
Oh, these Roaches pop out just in the nick of time. This Queen is vulnerable, but does manage to sneak into that little gap there. But Elazer, he's pretty relentless with the amount of Lings that he's bringing.
I think this Queen's going to live, man.
It is going to live.
Oh, never mind. Found the little gap, and they snuck on through.
Wow, that was a tight gap to run through, but those Lings, if any unit's going to do it, they are going to do it. Look at this drone count. 50 drones.
That's huge.
Bly's just going to pile on the aggression now. He knows he has to.
Absolutely. If he lets this game go on much longer, it's going to become worse and worse for him. And
But Elazer, he can afford so much now. And this map distance is pretty long, and he's seen these units marching out of the base of Bly, so...
He's already got 8 roaches on the way with a spine crawler as well. It's just looking like he's got enough here. Like, look at the supply count difference.
But Bly, he isn't throwing everything into this. He's producing a lot of workers with this, so he isn't totally set on saying, hey, I'm going to kill you.
No.
He just wants his opponent to make units instead of drones here, which it's the right choice in here. He's just backing up a little bit. He does need to keep on droning, but right now, Elazer's ahead. His economy's much, much better, and it's been better for longer.
8 drones, and he's going to have a lair a lot quicker here.
I tell you what, though, Elazer cancelling that spine, that was a good read of the situation. Often in ZvZ, one of the biggest things is you don't know if you're ahead or behind, but Elazer, upon cancelling that spine, he knows that, yeah, I'm a little bit ahead, and he's not going to attack me here, so I'm just going to make the most of what I have. A spire goes down. Now, we're going to see where ZvZ differs in Legacy of the Void, especially with that Spore Column of 63 drones. Elazer, you crazy, crazy man.
Yeah, he's really being greedy here, and Bly is going to try and capitalize on that greed by teching and powering pretty hard. I guess that's what you call it when you try and get the higher tech as quickly as possible as powering. And that Spire halfway done. He's going to get that gas bank going up now. We can see it's climbing quite nicely.
You know, I'm always surprised that Zerg players, especially in this matchup, don't patrol their overlords in little squares. It's so much harder to bile an overlord that's patrolling in a little square where it's taking sharp corners and such than it is to, like, you know, just a normal patrolling overlord, or just one that's sitting still.
That's right. And it looks like Elazer actually is looking to go for the... He's getting that upgrade for the overlords there. Ready for that drop. Something that Bly has really brought to quite good effect in the series so far.
Overlord drop?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So
well, unfortunately for Elazer, Bly is making Mutalisks, which means a lot of these overlords are about to be cleaned up. There are 10 on the way for the Ukrainian Zerg.
But Overlord drop at this point in time, even if you're against pure Roach, which he's going to scout that he's not against pure Roach, he's going to scout these Mutas. It's at least a Spire. Man, even if you're dropping into a lot of Roaches, you don't really want to be doing that as your Roaches come out one by one, even with like 8 Overlords, but you have to morph the Overlords. There's a lot of gas, a lot of minerals. Oh, okay, Roach drop harass here. This is kind of cool. If it gets spotted, then oh dear. But if one Roach drop gets in, that's a lot of damage that can be done. And these Mutas, they're flying to deny the 4th here.
So normally in ZvZ, if you're the guy that's making Roaches against the guy that's making the Mutas, you want to hit with a timing, with an upgrade or something like that, and overwhelm with Roaches and kill your opponent before the Mutas get too high. But we see that Bly already has a pretty critical amount of Mutas here. He's never going to be hit by Corrosive Biles. Never, never, never. He has to watch out for Spores, though.
I tell you what, though, Elazer's already getting ready for this, and he's producing a lot of Hydras. These are all Hydras in these eggs. He's producing 12 at once.
Could also potentially become Lurkers, which is a very powerful unit in ZvZ.
Oh, look at this too. Oh, he's going to pick off these. Oh, this is really nice.
If he gets his hatchery, that's massive.
That is huge. And, like, he's... Oh, there might be just too many Hydras here, but he's getting the Ravagers.
Ravagers, yep. Huge pickoffs, very expensive.
Oh, this Roach drop, though, coming into fruition.
Very nice from Elazer. Great play. He's taking out drones. Bly has got his sights set on that 4th hatchery, but he's losing a lot back at home.
Really clean micro, though, by Bly. He's keeping his Mutas in one ball, meaning all of the Mutas... Oh! This is nice. I didn't expect these Roach drops to do as much as they are doing, but... And he's even going to pick... Oh, Bly!
Wasn't he looking at his Mutas for a minute there, and he lost a good chunk of them. And Bly is definitely on the ropes. Look at the supply difference.
You see Bly's face, too. As soon as that happened, he was obviously upset with himself for losing so many Mutas there to those Hydra.
Oh, this is just all but game over already, unfortunately. Look at this. He's doubled the army supply of Bly here, and Elazer can just go for an attack and all but seal the deal at this point.
This was really, really good by Elazer. Those Roach drops did a lot more damage than I thought they would. 18 drones, 19 drones have fallen at this point in time, and the Mutas as well.
And he has a ball of Mutas. Elazer has a ball of Hydralisks.
Man, Bly just wasn't keeping up with the multitasking there, and that was just one mistake that allowed him to fall incredibly far behind. His army was on the map, wasn't at home, and he's going to lose this 4th.
Yeah, the 4th's definitely going to go down, but the main story is the game going to go for Elazer here? Can he hold and trade efficiently against this many ground units? There's so many, though. We've got Ravagers in the mix, no Lurkers at all, but the Hydralisks, amazing DPS in this matchup. And Bly just on pure Roach with 1 Ravager at the back. The Mutas are going to have to come in clinch for him here.
Oh, but there's so many Hydra, and they deal so much damage.
And Roach drop again, doing an econ damage during this attack, which is overwhelmingly in his favor at this point. Bly diving in to try and get this trade, losing 14 more drones in the back.
Oh, this is so much. Elazer just marching through, killing him from the inside too. This is really good play by Elazer. And Bly, looks like this will be Bly exiting this tournament with $0. And
That's
Elazer, oh, and gets the third hatchery as well.
That is the death blow there, for sure, for Bly. He's going to try and make something work here. He is playing for $6,000, but guys, he has lost all of his economy, bar from these drones transferring to roaches that have so much drone blood already all over them.
And while Bly still has an army together, it's just Elazer has so much more potential here for economy. He's even got a full face up behind the 64 workers to 44.
There is zero advantage for Bly here. There's no upgrade advantage. He has Mutalisks, but Elazer has Hydras, and he's forcing Bly to use those Mutalisks for defense, because if he didn't, he'd be dead already. He'd have nothing left on the ground.
Certainly would, and look at this.
And there goes the Mutalisks. They are dead.
And Elazer's just running in there, and Hydras deals significant damage. And how does Bly stop this at this point in time? Elazer's more than doubling his supply at this point in time.
He's trying, but it is not going to be good enough. Too much Elazer here. He's 100, over 100 supply up. The hatchery dies again. That was no cancel. And Elazer, the Polish Zerg, is going to make it 3-3 for Poland here at Katowice.
The Poles are here tonight, and
GG! The relief on his face, the cheerful smile. He's done it.
Oh, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the look of bitter disappointment.
And you have to be, Bly knows that he could have, he's so closely matched. We saw that series, how closely matched they are, and he knows he's better than that. That game was almost anticlimactic with what happened there in the end. It was just a huge trade, a timing hit there by Elazer that he wasn't ready for, and just completely crushed.
It wasn't as if Bly even played bad. I just think Elazer played very well, and he was ready for everything. The Hydras, I don't often see Hydras come out as quickly as that did that game. And you saw that Bly was ready to kill the third hatchery with the Mutas, but then Hydras popped out in time. Oh. So Elazer was incredibly well prepared for everything that Bly was doing. And then the fact that he just marches across the map and deals significant damage. Oh, there was one mistake with the Mutas where he did lose them to the Hydras, but very well played by Elazer.
Indeed, and that greed as well obviously paid off for Elazer, and he was very, very greedy in that last game.
Exceptionally so.
Yeah. But that is it for this first series of the day. Hope you guys loved it. We certainly did here at the casting desk, but let's go over to the analysis desk and see what's up.
Not much is up, mate, but good to be back here on the analysis desk with In Control, Brendan, and of course Ro32. A good start to the day for Elazer. That is 3 out of 3 Polish players. Yeah. Interesting fact as well we were talking about. Both of the DreamHack finalists are out in the round of 32 in this tournament.
And I've done the math, and that means that this tournament is 32 times more difficult than DreamHack Leipzig. 32 times, if you can imagine it.
It's a great win for Elazer.
Yeah, Poland's on fire, man. He's been looking really good recently in his ZvZs. It wasn't a flawless win, because the game on Lerolek, I actually think that he was in a very good position, but then suddenly the game slipped away from him a little bit, wasn't ready, like playing without banelings for that long.
Yeah.
Against Bly, like if you do it against Hydra, I say like, okay, you know, you want to cut a corner or two, but it's Bly, man. Like, Bly loves his early game aggression. Like, don't be that stubborn. But in the end, I do feel that Elazer right now is just a little bit better than Bly is.
And even the other game that he lost, Runes of Ceres, he went for a really early pool. It did not pay off. They were across spawns, kind of like a build order loss in a way. So I feel like overall, he was definitely the more solid player for the best of 5. So definitely deserves that win.
Do you think like the knowledge that Elazer has of Bly, and almost anyone in the world can tell you how Bly plays, that surely must assist him coming into this?
No, for sure. Like, Bly is a player that's extremely dangerous if you don't know what he's going to do, or if you play very standard, and he's someone kind of like Haas that will capitalize on that and will somehow find an advantage. But if you know you're playing against Bly, that doesn't make it easy, but it does give you a small advantage. Especially some of these European Zergs, they play against Bly all the time, and I feel the more they play against him, like Bly is not the same one-trick pony as he was in Heart of the Swarm. I do want to give Bly a lot of credit. He got so much better over the last few months, and now he can actually be a hive-tech Zerg as well. But he loves his early game aggression, and that's often where he makes the difference. That's where he excels still. And if you know that, well, then you can kind of prepare for that, and that should definitely help you.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. We do have Elazer who is ready to talk with Red Eye. Hello, Red Eye.
Hey, Sean. How you doing?
I'm doing brilliant.
Good. That was a good match, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun.
Let's find out from Elazer how he felt about it. He's joining us now. Congratulations, first of all. Nice victory. Really good victory over a man who's been playing very well. You came and sat down, and you Oh, you're kind of like, you know, how nervous is it? How nerve-wracking is it playing in this game?
Well, it was very nervous. Like ZvZ is kind of random right now, but the only thing going for me was that Bly was so predictable. Like he played exactly what I expected in every of the 5 games. The problem is that I won only 3-2. So like I still don't understand why, because he played exactly what I predicted. Like really. So like I should be happy, but I'm not really happy.
Why?
Because like I won, but still like I lost 2 maps. I don't know why.
I like that though, because that's a perfection.
Yeah, so, so you feel, is it maybe just that you play against him a lot, or it's so easy to find his VODs because he plays in like literally every broadcasted tournament there is? Like how do you prepare for him?
Well, he played exactly like he played the last series versus Nercho. Like there was an online cup, so I just checked the VODs of Nercho versus Bly, and yeah, he played exactly the same build orders on every of the maps. Like pretty predictable.
Okay, which is why you're disappointed that maybe you lost 2 maps rather than winning slightly easier. With the pressure on you, playing Bly at the very last minute as well, did it change anything for you? Because you were due to play Vortex originally, so quite late on. Obviously, unfortunately, Vortex couldn't be here. Did that change any of your preparation?
Well, yeah, obviously I was kind of mad because I was preparing for Vortex for like a week, and then one day before the tournament I'm like, okay, you're playing Bly, who's playing like practicing every day for the online cup, so it was really difficult. And yeah, but he was, as I said, pretty predictable.
You've come through, and now you're in the round of 16. Which is, there's some good news here. This might be bad news for you, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it does mean you're going to be playing on the stage in front of the Polish crowd now.
Well, yeah, it's very good news.
Okay, good. So that's what I like to hear. I'm not sure, you know, it's like it's quite nervous playing in there, and then you've got the crowd, but it's home crowd advantage.
Yeah.
For years, we've talked about Nerchio, and we've talked about Mana, and they've always been the top 2 guys coming out of Poland. You're now on the verge of really breaking out and joining them amongst that elite group. So, do you think the crowd are going to get behind you tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I think so.
All the Net Wars guys?
What?
All the Net Wars guys as well?
Oh yeah, Net Wars. Net Wars power.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to have you here. Congratulations on the win. And we'll see you tomorrow in the main stage. It'll be very fun to have you there. Congrats to Elazer as he makes his way through to the round of 16. We're not quite done though with the round of 32 because we've got one more match to go. And it's a big one for both players. Jigua versus TLO is coming next.